Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's January 18th, 2023, and walking around outside, you can see we got snow on the ground, but you can also see there are bits of grass that are poking up. So there's not a lot of snow for this time of year, and I'm actually in a t-shirt, but I wouldn't be walking around if I was outside for any length of time in a t-shirt, so I just happened to step outside the house and figured I better show you what it looks like right now here. Some of you love snow, and there's a little bit, a very little bit. Normally there is tons and tons this time of year. And actually I was just talking with Smokey back and forth with messages. You may know Snail Mail with Smokey. He's in Wisconsin. He's been having some ice. They've had some snow. I guess he's getting ready for some more snow to come too. Yeah, check out his channel, Snail Mail with Smokey. Great stuff. I was just debating what I should be doing today. I have a bit more time on my hands today. Don't have all the other things that I was thinking I was going to have to do. So I figured I better show you a new video and one on Canadian stamps. It's been a month since I last showed you Canadian stamps. The last year I left off with was at the end of 2003. So we're going to go back to the Unity stamp album of my father's, and we're going to start 2004 and go up a couple years and show you what's come out during those years. When I mean the Unity stamp album, I mean these books. So my father had 3 of these albums. I actually got the albums for him, and he put some of his collection into them. So it encompasses from the very first issued stamp, and this particular album, let me just flip through to the end, goes up till 2011. And then after 2011, my father went into yearly albums that come out. They're collector's albums that once a year, Canada Post issues a book about yay thick of all the stamps that came out that year with stories and things. Really fantastic. I can't wait till we get to those years so I can show you what they look like as well. But I am going to finish off with this book. I'm not going to finish the whole book today, of course, but we'll do a few more years so you can see what stamps came out in 2004 and probably up to 2005, 2006, somewhere in that range. The other thing I want to talk to you about and ask the question, really. I have people that sometimes ask me if I trade stamps. I do trade stamps. I don't trade out of the collection my father has, but he has had duplicates, and people have sent me stamps, and some of those stamps have become duplicates. So I do trade some Canadian stamps, some stamps from Netherlands, from Germany, ones that my father had lots of duplicates of. So we have some of those that I do trade from time to time. And usually what I do is that if someone sends me a grouping of stamps, so if they send me, say, 30 stamps, and they have requested that they want to do a trade, then I'll return the favor and send 30 stamps back. That's usually how I do it. So when it's been received, then I return it. That way I'm not sending out, people saying, oh, I want to trade stamps with you, and then I send out stamps and I don't get anything back. So if that's your interest, you're interested in trading stamps with me, my address is below, and you can send off a list. You can send off some stamps, and then when I get it with your address, it must be in there, your returned address, then I can send you the stamps back. And also shoot me a message just saying that that's what you're going to do, so I know what to expect, and maybe what some of your preferences are, so I can send you stuff back that you like. Now, I know you have seen some of the stamps that people have sent me, and that's usually what's been happening, is some people send me some stamps, and then I've been sending them some stamps back. Kyler is a prime example of that. He's in PEI, and he's sending stamps over. He's been sending lots of Japanese stamps. Have been great to show off to you. And then I return the favor and send him back some stamps as well. So that's the side note. Let's look at some Canadian stamps starting in 2004. So 2004 is the year of the monkey. So these 2 stamps were issued. So you've got domestic rate, which was 49 cents at the time, and then international rate, which was $1.40. Oh, for those times again. And there's the souvenir sheet. Then they do some more NHL All-Stars. If you're into hockey, these may be some of your favorite teams, mine being the Montreal Canadiens, right there. And then here we kind of have some shape stamps. So once again, you get the traditional rectangle, but it goes beyond, or the square, I guess, in this case. Love those stamps when they do a little extra. And this is the souvenir sheet of those same NHLs. My father didn't have that one, nor this souvenir sheet. See different ones of the signals. These are really some nice Now this one here, he had the domestic, but he doesn't have the international. So these are ones I've got to go back and try to find and try to fill in those gaps. He did have the souvenir sheet of this one. Things like this. So here, he does have the stamps in there. You say, why are you touching the stamps? I'm not. There's a plastic film that's over all these. You can see it a little bit better here. So the stamp is underneath some plastic film. That's pretty cute with the teddy bears. More university stamps. We've seen a few of these over the years. The University of Prince Edward Island. So there's one that's very close. They have a great veterinary clinic. If you want to become a vet, that is the place to go. Some nice Olympic stamps there. Tourist attraction. Quebec Winter Festival is a huge tourist attraction. Montreal Jazz Festival. Canadian National Exhibition. Those you like birds and flowers. There's a combination. These are cute stamps. Nobel Prize winners. These are also interesting stamps. Really love the shape stamps. Had a request today, actually, someone asking if I had some shaped stamps that I could trade. I do have some. All my stamps that I have for trading are used though. This one's really nice. This is a big souvenir sheet. Here you can see the price of stamps has gone up. It was 49 cents, now we're up to 50. Some of the very small ones, little Canadian flag stamps that have different regions of the country. These are ones you still see today. So it's an ongoing series. And as we're leaving Year of the Monkey, we're getting to Year of the Rooster. 2005 now. And they've put out some more NHL stamps. Definitely seeing where there are some gaps here that I can fill in for my father's collection. He has some souvenir sheets, but not all of them, that's for sure. Didn't have any of these fly fishing ones. Quite surprised he missed out on all those. But then he has them all year. So these are singles from self-adhesive booklet versus these ones here are singles from a souvenir sheet. More bird stamps. Cleans magazine. If you're a bridge lover, here are some famous bridges in the country. The Canso Causeway, that's what in Nova Scotia joins mainland Nova Scotia to Cape Breton Island. All Nova Scotia, but the Angus MacDonald Bridge is what's one of the two bridges that goes between Halifax and Dartmouth in Nova Scotia. Zoom in on these ones a little bit because they're a bit darker. Just like this here. These are really nice. Search and rescue stamps. Between Acadian stamps and games. Another souvenir sheet. These ones are interesting here. Youth sports, they're all shaped. Are you like me? Do you prefer shape stamps over just a traditional rectangle? I like variety. I like when it's odd, when it's unique. You know, these ones here, they're a larger denomination. They're actually a larger stamp too. You can see here, there's the $1 stamps compared to some of these ones here. There's a bit of a size difference. You know, this is a traditional little stamp that you would see. Is that a lot of people say Canadians are known for these tiny little definitive stamps. So I really like when we have the bigger ones. You know, how cute is that stamp there? It's a shape stamp. It's got a great image. Her Majesty. Every year it seems the stamps are going up and up. So now we're to 51 cents. 51 still seems a lot cheaper than if you buy one individual stamp. Right now it's $1.07 for domestic, but the domestic rate is only 92 cents. It's very confusing that way. If you buy one stamp, it costs you $1.07. If you buy it in a booklet, it costs you 92 cents a stamp. So I did have that question posed to me too, is we have what, P stamps. So they are the value of a domestic rate that year. So even if you bought it, I don't know, for 87 cents when it first came out, it's still valued of 92 now. So it keeps going up. But if you use one of those in conjunction with other stamps to make international or US rates, how much are they valued at? So I guess they're valued at 92 cents currently. Explorers, some more aviation. Our famous snowbirds, which is a flying group that we have, military flying group that goes and travels the world doing acrobatics. Certainly what I've noticed in Canadian stamps over the year, we like to show military or animals and fauna. We have lots of those stamps. These are interesting here, the wine and cheese stamps, more shape stamps. Thank people like Basil who make comments about stamps. Linda's another great one, so she likes watching the stamp videos. Some days that I don't know what I'm going to make a video of, and Basil will send me a message saying, are you making one today? Do I have one to look forward to? And at the start of the day, I think probably not going to put one out. And then I look and said, well, it's been a month since I did any of these type videos. I should probably do another one. If some of you are out there waiting for them, I guess it's a good reason for me to continue putting it out because you seem to like the content. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much for all of you who do tune in to watch these and have an interest in stamps and the stamp hobby. For those of you who are post-crossers and continue to watch these videos, or some of you guys are just that dad guy interested, so thank you so much. Here we are, 2007. The year of the pig. And we're back into some souvenir sheets that my father didn't have, but the images are still there. I'd love to hear in the comments what your favorite theme is so far. If you've been watching all these videos of the Canadian stamps in particular, do you have a favorite theme of stamps that have come out? Is it architecture? Is it famous Canadians? Is it fauna, aviation. Do you just like the different shapes and sizes? Maybe you like Canadian recording artists like Joni Mitchell and Gordon Lightfoot. Famous Anne Murray, Paul Anka. This would have been an interesting souvenir sheet to have where it looks like a record. The national parks are neat from my perspective because I like to see which parks I've actually been to and which I still have to go see. Here's some whales, maybe Renee, if you're watching this, Renee Lewis. Really likes the aquatic animals. Here we have a variety. 2022, we had the Endangered Whales series came out, which were really popular stamps. These stamps have been going for a long time. We have had these. I still put those on mailers when I send out postcards. And here you can see that they should have been rows of 4. My father's just put one of each one of those in because he didn't have the row of 4. But here's the individual sheet of all 4 of them. Well, that's where we're going to end up. We're going to finish 2007, which will leave us 2008 through 2011 left in the book to still see at a later date. And then we'll get into the collector albums that will go from there. So, yeah, I'm really happy with these books. I still half wondered whether or not I should buy the pages for the following years, but where my father's got them in collector's albums, there's probably not much point in doing that. What I should do is, when the time permits in the future and the finances permit, go see if I can find some of the individual stamps that aren't too pricey and fill in some of the gaps that he has here in the collection, which isn't a lot. He's done fantastic getting all these stamps through the years and filling it in. I still have lots of stamps that people have sent that I need to sort and try to get them into the albums that he has. I'm not sure when I'm going to get to that. Right now, I've been dividing them off into countries that have been coming in and separating them that way. I've been soaking some of the stamps that have paperbacks on them. So that's been kind of fun to do that as well. Getting back into this hobby and kind of taking on the mantle that my father has bestowed on me is important. So 2 things I enjoy. I enjoy receiving them so I can show them off to you, and being able to show what he's collected in the past. And I have a bunch of other countries that we're going to get into too, but I do want to get us caught up on Canada before I start pulling out other albums he has from other countries. When I show you other countries, it's usually just because someone has sent me those stamps and I want to show off what's come in. So if you are, like I said, wanting to swap used stamps, I am up for it in small batches. Just reach out to me, let me know, and when I receive your packet, then I will return the favor and send the packet back off to you. That's all I've got for right now. What else do we have coming up? Well, it's Wednesday, so that means in 2 days, we're at the end of the week, so I'll have a post-crossing video of what mail I've received, and then we'll go through the usual weekend videos that I have, including That Dad Guy Answers. So if you have a question for me, go back to the last That Dad Guy Answers video that came out last Saturday. It was episode 48, I believe, of that series. So yeah, leave me a question on that so I've got something to answer for you on Saturday. Other than that, have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Bye.